Last year, a single AI company used more electricity than 100,000 homes. This year, they're demanding more than entire countries, and every time you ask ChatGPT a question, you're feeding it. But that's not the disturbing part. These facilities are being built right now, hidden infrastructure consuming power at a scale that would make entire cities go dark. In a second, I'll show you exactly how much power your AI habit is draining, but first you need to understand what's being built beneath the surface. Because the grid you depend on is about to face a crisis that nobody saw coming. Here's what they don't tell you. Every single ChatGPT query you make uses the same energy as running 10 light bulbs for an hour. One question, 10 bulbs. Now multiply that by the billions of queries happening every single day. Microsoft's AI infrastructure alone consumed 7 terawatt-hours last year. That's more electricity than the entire nation of Lithuania uses annually. And here's the twist nobody talks about. This isn't slowing down. The International Energy Agency projects AI-related electricity demand will triple by 2027. Triple. While you're still using the same grid that was built 50 years ago. But wait until you hear where these facilities are actually located. Northern Virginia. Home to the densest concentration of data centers on Earth. Over 300 facilities in a single county. They're designed to look boring, invisible, just another warehouse. But inside, the heat generated is so intense that cooling systems alone can consume 40% of the total energy load. And this is where it gets disturbing. These facilities don't just drain electricity, they're consuming billions of gallons of water for cooling, water that's disappearing from rivers and aquifers. In Arizona alone, data centers consumed 1.2 billion gallons last year. But here's what nobody anticipated. Nuclear plants that were scheduled for shutdown are suddenly being revived, not for your home. For AI, Microsoft just signed a deal to restart 3 Mile Island. You remember 3 Mile Island, right? The site of America's worst nuclear accident is coming back online to power ChatGPT. Think about that for a second, and this is just the beginning. Amazon announced plans for a 5-gigawatt data center campus in Pennsylvania. 5 gigawatts, that's equivalent to 5 nuclear reactors running continuously. For context, that's more power than the entire city of Phoenix consumes at peak demand, and here's the part they don't want you to know. Local power grids aren't designed for this. When these facilities go online, somebody's power has to get deprioritized. Wait until you hear who's winning this power race. China is building data centers at 3 times the rate of the United States, not for civilian AI, for strategic advantage. Whoever controls the data infrastructure controls the future economy, and the economy runs on electricity. But here's the twist. Tech companies aren't just consuming power, they're becoming power brokers. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they're now signing deals directly with utilities, bypassing the public grid entirely. This isn't just about electricity anymore. This is about who controls the infrastructure of thought itself. Every AI query you make creates a dependency chain. Your question travels through servers that require constant power. If that power fails, the system collapses. And here's what nobody anticipated. Grid failures are already increasing. Last summer, Texas came within minutes of total collapse, not because of weather, because of a AI load spike during peak hours. In a second, I'll show you the historical pattern we're repeating, but this is where it gets disturbing. 140 years ago, Thomas Edison built the first commercial power plant in Lower Manhattan. He promised the future, endless light, progress, civilization itself. And he was right, but here's what he knew that we've forgotten. Every new technology that promises liberation creates a new dependency. Edison's grid made us dependent on centralized power. AI is making us dependent on centralized intelligence. And whoever controls that intelligence controls everything downstream. Your navigation, your news feed, your search results, your recommendations. All processed through facilities consuming more power than small nations. We're making the same choice Edison's generation made. We're trading independence for convenience, but here's the difference. Edison's grid powered lights. AI's grid powers thought, and the stakes are exponentially higher. By 2030, AI infrastructure could consume 10% of global electricity. 10%, and the grid isn't expanding fast enough to meet it. So here's the question nobody's asking. When the grid can't supply everyone, who gets priority? Your air conditioning on a 110-degree day, or the data center running AI training models? And who pays for the infrastructure upgrades needed to support this? Because right now, those costs are being quietly passed to residential users. Your power bill is already subsidizing their AI dreams. This isn't a crisis we can solve by simply building more power plants. This is a question about what kind of future we're choosing. Edison gave us light, but we became dependent on his grid. AI is giving us intelligence, and we're becoming dependent on theirs. If this opened your eyes to what's really powering your digital life, hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden truths about the systems we depend on. Drop a comment below. Are you willing to pay more for power to fuel the AI revolution, or should tech companies bear the cost?